Hello everyone, my name is The Demolisher13, or Demo for short, and today I am doing a remake of my old construction system video for Planetside 2. As to why? Well, as a few of you pointed out, the last video wasn't all that great, so I'm doing a bit of a remake of it to make it better. And also, I don't believe I have the capability to make the whole video or the whole topic in one video, so therefore I have decided to split this whole thing up into a series of videos. That way I can focus more time and energy in polishing up the videos for you guys, and it's easier for you guys to focus on everything I have to give you in each video. In any case, today's video will be about redoing the node deploy zones and the rate at which structures take to build. So with that said, why don't we start with the first of the two, talking about the node deploy zones in Planetside 2. So if you ever wanted to get into construction and want to place down your first silo somewhere, the first thing you'll notice is all the node deploy zones. Heck, you might have even noticed it before you even grabbed a cordium silo. Probably noticed it when you were trying to deploy your ant. In any case, the node deploy zones are relatively atrocious. Heck, if you just look at this video of me on Esamir trying to find a spot to build, it's rather painful to look at, to say the least. Thankfully, I have found some predetermined locations by my own research that are good base building spots. So it mitigates the amount of time it takes me to find some open ground to build a new base. That said, most players generally don't have a map of everything, where to build, where to find cordium, etc, etc. So places like Esamir with overlapping node deploy zones can be rather challenging to work with. Heck, the fact that we have overlapping node deploy zones is quite atrocious to say the very least, as it kind of shows that the developers didn't put too much thought into this. Rather, they just took the node deploy zones for the sunderers and just times it by some random number. And that's how we end up getting the node deploy zones of today, is by my guess. Now, I'm not trying to bash the developers for that. Planetside 2 has had a wide cast of developers and publishers over the many years that it's been around. So it was bound for mistakes or laziness like this were to occur. Though there is new hope, as I saw the other night while checking the Outfit Wars, that the developers were actually allowing players to build bases not only by the objectives or bases, but inside of them as well. So I do have some hope that to resolve this issue, the developers will allow us in the future to build bases, maybe not in the bases per se, but definitely right next to them. And the reason why we would like to build bases by the developer bases in the live servers is easy. That's where all the fights and action happens, and frankly, we want to be by the fight. We don't want to build a base in the middle of nowhere to have one Sunday just pass the base and then no one ever spawns to attack us, because currently bases have nothing of strategic value other than the OSU, Orbital Strike Uplink, that can actually draw people to attack it. Therefore, most people will just sidestep it, but if it's part of a base, you can't sidestep it, you have to just deal with it. And on top of that, if people say that that will make the whole balancing of bases a bit out of whack, I like to beg to differ, as bases kind of do melt under large groups of people firing upon them. That said, they also do shred infantry, so it's a bit of a double-edged blade there, though max suits do tend to shred them. In any case, before I divulge more, yeah, just let players build bases by the actual developer bases. This would kind of shake up the gameplay of the whole scenario a bit, because it offers the defendants another layer of defense, or the attackers a forward base of operations for attacking the enemy base. Also, it's a very effective way of clearing the skies around a dev base of enemy aircraft, if they have a place to work with. In any case, let's move on to the second topic of tonight, the rate at which buildings and structures are actually erected in the game, as it currently takes about 48 seconds to actually build a structure. Now, 48 seconds doesn't sound long in the general scheme of an hour and a half, though 48 seconds in a firefight is basically 48 years, basically. as it only takes 1 second to die. Eee. So, to resolve this issue, and I'll show some gameplay footage of Starhawk to be used as an example for what I'm about to suggest. Basically, just make it so construction either takes less time to build, or make it so you have a hologram there that no one can really interact with until the structure has been built. One or the other, or heck, even a combination of the two, would allow players to actually build bases on the front lines, because with the 48-second rule, you're kinda stuck having to build a base behind friendly lines or behind enemy lines and hoping that no one notices the giant base you're erecting behind them. In any case, I think that would do it for today's video. Thank you for listening to me to this point if you still are, and have a good day, and I hope to see you on my next video.